So the stage is set. We've got grand finals locked in. As mentioned, if you might just be tuning in, the 18 boys in the previous set, Queensland secondary schools, have made it through after beating the Hornets out on field 2, and they will be taking on the Brisbane Cobras, who knocked off the CQ Bulls by 1 try in the second semi-final. And the stage is set now to find out who will be in the 18 girls final later on this afternoon. As mentioned, the Queensland secondary school team's first possession for them to get us underway. Taylor Sykes in possession in the number 1, working with Amelia Chadburn in the middle of the field here as Sykes sweeps around the back. They go away. Chadburn links up beautifully to Montea Hudson. Nice little set piece from the tap off, and they have come out on fire.
Yeah, definitely was a set piece there, and that'll please the QSST coaching staff no end. Little sweeper coming back. Yep, little late bounce out, and just beats the link to score that touchdown. 1-0 on the Painaway scoreboard, Scott.
Beautiful start from the Queensland secondary school teams, but nice ball movement and running into the line here from the Swannies as they put the ball through their hands. A nice job there from Zoe Waters. Good composure just to hold the ball. Might have been tempted to try and flick that out and create the overlap on the outside as they come in, and they have responded perfectly. Izzy Reid has gone over straight through the middle of the Queensland defence. Great response from the Swans.
Yeah, fantastic reply from the Southwest Queensland Swans. Zoe Waters just gets it back in there for some phase play on the 7-metre dump, inside ball, and beats the link coming across in cover. So 1-1 on the Painaway scoreboard. We're in for a cracker, I think, here, Scotty. The girls have come to play.
Absolutely. Great start to the semi-final. As Chloe Tunks now quite compressed in the midfield here in Queensland schools, but they've got touches up their sleeve to work. Another set piece potentially off the back end. Hagen off the left foot, steamed onto the line. So dangerous in that 7-metre zone. Can't give her too much space, and she capitalises there to get the second try on the board.
Yeah, 7-metre dump. What's been consistent about these first 3 touchdowns is these strike dumps have been on the 7, which makes it almost impossible for defenders. And Rani Hagen, she needs no invitation to be able to score from that range. She is an absolute superstar. So good on her feet.
Well, we've seen 2 possessions from the Queensland secondary schools team, 2 tries. This is the second possession here for the Swans. Can they do the same and match them? They came up with points off the restart last time around. Searston plays it just outside the 7, comes back in, links back up with Waters in the midfield. Nice touch made. They answer the call this time around. Good combination in the middle here for the Swannies. As Waters takes off, comes back in, switches. Searston just comes out of the fingertips. They can't respond this time around. And the Queensland team with Hagen, the try scorer, coming out of their end of the field. Second touch now as the changes come onto the field. Good meters on 3.
Yeah, how well the Swannies can stay up here is going to be really, really important because QSST are able to recycle that ball almost at will. So, yeah, they've got to work really hard here, the Swans.
Oh, there was numbers out there on the right-hand side. They did a good job to get their hands onto the ball and knock that one down. A full set of 6 here for Queensland.
Yeah, getting out past the 8 is going to be very, very important here for the Swans to be able to stop the similar pattern of attack that's caused all the damage thus far.
Penalty here to Queensland.
Yeah, they need to get out and they need to hunt in numbers. They're waiting for them on that 7 metres.
Tucking down the line, having a dive at the line. Nice touch made on Madeline Matthews.
Yeah, good work from Ella Searston, getting herself back out of that action area quickly, and she had to get there to be able to stop that one.
As Matthews steps back in, links back up with Sophie Smith, who unloads. Smith into half. They look to attack down the short side. Coming back in, snatching up the ball there. Searston yet again gives another full set of 6 here to Queensland. Pressure galore on the Swans' defensive line.
Yeah, they really got to try and get out here and get out past that 7 if they can. Easier said than done.
Looping ball on the outside and diving touch in the corner. Beautiful touch as well from Bridget Doherty.
Yeah, they were lucky there because they were managed to make that touch inside the 7, so they're able to get onside. So it's either you got to get all the way out or just a couple of metres in. So they've got to keep pressing out here. That's good Ella system meeting them on that 7 there. Good D.
And another good touch. Forces Queensland to come back out. Matthews will play it.
Yeah, they're very thoughtful, this QSST attack. They're looking maybe here for little counties play.
Stepping in. Looping ball over the top, and another touch claimed on the line.
Forward pass.
We'll come back for the forward pass. That's the first infringement. So good job from the Swans. They held out after getting a mountain of pressure, multiple sets.
Yeah.
Defending their line against
Yeah,
Queensland.
they really need to exit here and get out of their end. But, yeah, fantastic defence from that set of players who are on there. Very unlucky. Not cool.
Forward pass off the ruck. Looks like it's the call. Queensland, again, will start.
More pressure.
The set. More pressure coming. Oh, there looked like a little mistake in the play of the ball, and it was Sophie Smith, acting half. Might have just had a little bit of a look up at the defensive line as she was coming into the play of the ball.
Yeah, that was a really good effort from Swans to defend that barrage of attack. And the difficulty here, Scott, is later on in the half, that type of effort might get to them. So it's really, really important that they, keep going hard here for as long as they possibly can and stay with QSST.
Ashurst in the half unloads. They might look to set up for Demi into acting half. Picks up and goes the early ball. Nice little footwork there from Notley. Sends it back into the midfield, and Ashurst just flings it out. Not too sure whether they needed to get their hands on it there, Chloe Nicola.
Yeah.
Knocking that one down and giving another repeat set here to the Swans.
Scotty, the QSST defensive line, if you have a look, they're quite compressed. The wingers are a long way in. If they can sort of, get a little bit of phase and throw long, there's a little bit of space out here. So interesting to see if the coaching box down there, Jordan Dutt and Jodie May, recognise that and can definitely get a play on to be able to exploit that.
They come out to the right-hand side. A little bit of a one-on-one battle out on this side of the field.
Nothing wrong with opening it up like that in the early counts there, Scott. I like that.
Jessica Fitzgibbon in 3, sends it back in field. Nice work from Waters, just straightens him up. Notley, footwork. Ooh. I think there was a bit of cover on the inside, but a nice little short ball coming into the line.
Yeah.
Want to put some pressure on.
I'd love to see Tess, off the back of flow, picking up and going, because she's so unpredictable on her feet that she's able to cause a lot of issues for people. But that was almost from a standing start, so hopefully they'll give that a little bit more thought. And this is where QSST have the strength here. They come on in numbers and they're able to recycle the football. The Swans have got to commit more players to the touch.
Penalty coming, nicely worked there from Taylor Sykes. Identifying players offside, just held her line. Ran into them, gets her team another full set of 6 attacking the Southwest Queensland Swans line. And they will come up with points. Must have been caught short on that occasion. Taylor Sykes put that one down to her. Earned the repeat set and then picks it up and goes herself. Yeah,
and this is trademark Taylor Sykes, just long way out, dives, anything on the 7. She is absolutely dynamic out of that position. And, the Swans, you put yourself under pressure by making those types of errors, and then, it's a long way back.
So 3-1 now on the Painaway scoreboard. Queensland Secondary Schools team up by 2 tries. The Swans looking to hit back from the restart. Skipping away from one defender, Siston in the half.
Yeah, they need to demand the 7 here. And there's a sweep. Yep. Not coming out, and that's the thing. That's probably where, if the Swans are going to score, getting them out and really being patient on early counts.
Siston attacking the short side. Nice little out ball. Equally good defence. Making the touch there. Talia Shuka, left-hand side for the Queensland Schools team.
And another penalty. Now that's 2, Scotty. One more, and the QSST will find themselves with a player excluded.
The 7 this time around, they look to go early. Ashurst feeding it back midfield, working with Izzy Reid in the middle.
And we see they can be a little bit more expansive here. They've bunched them in the early counts, which is great. Let's see if they can hit them on the out, and that's not bad strategy. If they could get that into phase, they could probably create a few things there.
Loose ball back in field. Izzy Reid spilling out of the fingertips.
Yeah, but the QSST team handled that quite well, didn't they? Like, defensively, they were a very, very good unit. And they're turning up, they're all on the same page. So good signs already, and they'll be pretty happy over there in the QSST box with the way that they've begun this game.
Full of running coming out of the box as Shuka goes down the left-hand side of the field. Good cover defence. Coming across, Bridget Doherty making another touch. She's made a couple of big touches out here.
She certainly has.
Switch at the line. This time comes in and puts pressure on, and an open pasture there. Talia Shuka, who rolls over and gets the 4th try on the board for the Queensland team.
Yeah, sensational piece of play there from the girls. Recognising that the Swans were very man-on, late switch, release to the winger straight away, and that's great vision. 4-1 on the Pain Away scoreboard.
Handy little margin now for Queensland. Waters dishes from half. Tess Notley jinking. Always ever elusive with the footwork. Back to Waters. Hamlin from half. Another penalty. Even multiple penalties away coming off their line, Queensland.
Yeah, I like that the local referees are really trying to get the players to get out past the 7, like people aren't retreating early, and it's a really, really refreshing thing to see that, the referees are not letting any of that happen. So they're giving you the best value there. Nice work, Zoe Waters over the top, and there's the long ball we talked about, taking advantage of that compressed defensive line, and smart work from Zoe Waters, and she keeps the Swans within striking distance at 4-2 on the Pain Away scoreboard.
And positive to see as we have a look at the replay early in the touch count as well. So good awareness, plenty of space as you made mention, and that's good identification that they are playing compressed. They take advantage that time around. Just keeps it within clawing distance.
Yeah, and I think this is the thing, is that the Swans are renowned as a running team more than a passing team. So I think that's, influenced the way that Paul Cobban has got the QSST girls defending. So it'll be interesting to see if that forces, a little bit of a change from him.
This time it is the Swans who give away the penalty for not moving forward off their line. Hagan plays it, receives it straight back. Sends it left to right. Oh, off the fingertips, off the head, around the back as well. Finally reeled in. Tisha Edwards gets it down for the points.
That had a bit of everything.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything there.
Certainly. And the Swannies just got their numbers wrong. Like, really not great pre-touch, and they're all very bunched themselves. And it's just a little bit about that composure. So it'd be interesting to see if Jordan Dart down in the box just addresses their shape and their spacings. And once that happens, they should be right again.
Plays out of position here a little bit from Queensland, but they recover nicely. Forces the Swans to come back towards the midfield. Nice early release, but they're within the 7-metre line as they retreat now. Barnes plays it, pops back out and receives it, comes against the grain, links back in. And they're going to point to the spot.
Yeah, fantastic little piece of play there. And Misha Couchy with the finish. Fantastic for the Swannies. This will look great on the replay. Little step back. Couchy just changes the body position at the last second and gets it down. Evades the touch. Fantastic piece of play.
Beautiful. They're still really positive footy from the Swans.
Yeah.
So it just feels like the Queensland team are starting to stretch away from them. They just managed to get more points down the other end and just keep themselves into the game. Good football here from Southwest Queensland. Big defensive set for them. After coming up with points down the other end. They sweep, they come against the grain, looping ball over the top and just getting fingertips on that and knocking that one down. Ellis Scott out there on that left-hand side for the Swans.
Yeah, and again, it's that recognition of the spacings that are required between players when it's the long side or the short side, Scott. And if that can happen a little bit sooner, she wouldn't have had to get her hands in there. So, let's just have a look what they come up with here.
Diving in at the line, straight in between. Ashurst makes the touch. Matthews come back out to the 7-metre line. Tunks from half. Looking back up with Matthews. He steps out. They come back into the midfield. Good defence. I think they took a little deflection there from Tess Notley. Yeah,
unfortunately she got a hand to it.
More pressure here for the Swans, but we saw them defend their set, or their line I should say. No, it's gone 5th touch now.
Oh, he has. He's changed his... Yep.
Yeah.
He changed his call. Yep.
Interesting. Might have got a little bit of a communication from the sideline referee. So the Swannies now come out of their end of the field. Ashurst.
Yeah, their first three's been a lot better, Scott. They've improved. We've called them during the week a fair bit, and they're really starting to now really get some really good stuff happening there.
System from half picks up, loops over the top, come back for a touch and pass penalty. Field referee is pulling things up and calling ill assist, and gets a little forced substitution. Would have had a little sneaky word in the ear to the referee. He goes, off you go. I'm not sure what happened out there. They can take the tap. They play on here, Queensland. Hagan back on to the field, picks up, rips one. She'll get herself into a position where she can go from half. They're in all sorts of trouble here. The Swans, Hagan into the in-goal area, throws a beautiful ball out to Shuka. who finishes it off nicely. Rani Hagan really starting to work herself in the game.
Yeah, she's an absolute superstar, Scott. Like, any time she gets an opportunity, she's just such a good athlete, and she puts herself in the right spot at the right time, runs really, really great lines, and it's very hard to go with her. And, you know, she just picks the right option as well, which, you know, it's a sign of a class performer. And 6'3" now, QSST, with 4 minutes, 58 seconds on the clock, they're starting to, extend things a little bit here. So the Swans have got to hit back again, and they have during the game consistently. So they're not going to go away, I don't think, Scott.
Ashurst sends it back midfield. Waters from half. Ashurst comes on the out. Comes against the grain, left foot. Oh, it's just gone straight into the breadbasket of Hagan. Now, did she get away from the first defender? She did. Ashurst, I thought, may have been claiming the touch.
Yeah.
They play on, and that's 0 for them as well off the intercept. So they're going to start their set in a really good position. Plenty of touches up their sleeve here, the Queensland team. Rolling down the sidelines. They look to come back more midfield with Taylor Sykes. Steps back in, holds the ball, throws a loose pass.
And that was just resolute defence from Zoe Waters. Like, we've given her a big rap during this event, for her attack, but she always turns up. She doesn't, shirk the hard work as well, And here she is bringing the ball to the box again and earning a team a penalty. And a big smile on her face as well, Scott, as she comes to the box. That's just, not only a very good player, but, just a really, really lovely young lady.
See, there's a restart here. System back out onto the park for the Swans. Ball in hand. We'll play it. Looking to set themselves up towards the back end as they move towards that 7-metre zone. The penalty, Queensland. Coming in from the side and forcing the error. Strong contact. Coming into the touch. Searston plays it, steps away. They just lost their weight and they'll pull back out with Jessica Barnes. Not least sweeps, gets it on the out. There's a little bit of space on there. Stutter tries to take on little one-on-one battle out there in the left link position. Did you want to see her just go straight from the release?
Yeah, she had him, didn't she? It looked like she's got so much speed, Tess Notley.
Searston steps out. Ball in two hands. Nice little out ball. Yeah, I think that might be down. Yeah. Referees are going to agree as well. Like we said, every time it feels like Queensland go down the other end and they're starting to get on top, the Swans just hit them straight back. Great job. Yeah,
fantastic work. Ella Searston with one over the top, recognising that compressed defensive line, and a lovely finish in the corner by Jessica Fitzgibbons. She's been very, very good and very consistent for the Swans during this entire tournament.
2.5 to go in the first half. Swan is still just hanging in there, down by 2. 6-4 on the paint away scoreboard. This might be a big set here for the Queensland school teams. Looking to continue to get momentum going into the halftime break. I think that's good line defence yet again.
Yeah, it was touch and go, and very interesting there. Like Lilia Pratt sort of asked the question about whether they were onside, and it was probably 50-50, but yeah, the referee made a good decision at the end of the day.
Little switch, sees them turn the ball over. Swanee straight back onto the football. Little inside ball by Ashurst. As they roll towards the halfway line, putting the ball through the hands. They'll get their changes onto the field now. Doherty releases from half. Will follow up yet again.
Yeah, Zoe Waters lurking in the background there. Like to see her let loose on a strike dump, but just didn't get the play.
Tough ball to take off the fingertips there. Jessica Barnes. Queensland restart their set. 1.5 minutes to go in the first half here. The 18 girls semi-final.
Now this is the open side stuff that I was talking about, Scott. Like when they come onto the field, the Swans need to commit defenders to that open side attack.
Hagan again skips. Comes back in. Good defensive pressure there, making the touch on Sophie Smith.
Yeah, Misha Couchy again. She's done a power of work during this event for the Swans, and they seem to just keep turning up for each other. And get a fortuitous penalty here, Scott. And with 53 seconds, they'll get a set down the other end, and let's see what they can put on in the shadows of half-time.
Yeah, wow, can they come up with points just before the half-time break? Going to half-time, down by one. Another penalty. Queensland might be trying to play out the clock a little bit and throw penalties away. We need to be careful.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few of those hard touches coming in there, and that's okay. That's just the game, Scotty, and it's what it's all about. It's a very competitive environment out there, and it's nice to see the girls leaving everything out there on the field.
Absolutely. Notley threatens to skip away. Hang on.
Yeah, here we are.
Going to get a player called out here. I think at minimum we'll see a forced substitution, so they got the player advantage here. The Swans, they got to go early. Notley tries to get in underneath. Still the replacement player coming on.
They'll get one final play, I would think, Scotty. They've got to get the ball on the deck.
Yeah, Hooters
now
about
they're going to have
down.
to go.
Oh, Notley down the short side. A little bit of space and having to get on the skates to shut that one down. Worth a shot. And the Hooter does beat them there to it. But a really entertaining first half here between the two teams. I think the 2 tries separating, and the Swannies are really making a good game out of this.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're not going to go away, Scott. And, I think we're all set for a massive second half.
Welcome back to the DoorDash National Youth Championships. 18 girls semi-final action taking place on your screens through KO Sports. It is the Queensland secondary school teams with the slight advantage over the top of the Southwest Queensland Swans. 6-4 on the Painaway scoreboard at halftime. Just repeating the halftime score in the second semi-final taking place on field 2. The New South Wales Combined High Schools currently leading the Brisbane Cobras 3 tries to 2. So both winners of these 2 matches will be progressing through to the grand final later on this afternoon. And the Swannies on the restart here. They'll be looking to start in positive fashion, and they're straight back onto the run, throwing quite a few questions here at the Queensland defence to start the second half. So it'll run from half and just dipping away in front of Talia Ackland there. And they came out with some good intensity there to start the second half, which is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, they certainly did. But here's QSST in the very first set. First touch, they get there, and they're on 2, and they're almost at halfway. And this is probably the area where QSST have the edge. They're just really getting through their rucking sets, with a lot of momentum. So, yeah, Swannies have got to try and find an answer to that.
Yeah, nice little out ball on the back and just getting on the outside. Kate Ellum, too much speed, and it just had too much space to work with as well. So they've come out of the halftime break in positive fashion and picking up their 7th try of the game, and just pushes that margin back out to 3.
Yeah, and that happened as I was, speaking about with the transition. They got on the ball really quickly, and then it's very difficult when, teams are running and they've, got momentum, and you're trying to sort of, arrest the control of that set right at the back end. It's pretty tough, and QSST, you just don't give them any invitation because they're going to take it.
As we saw, and we may mention multiple times through the first half, every time Queensland scored, the Swans just managed to hit them back and just keep that margin back down to 2. So let's see if they can continue on that trend here in the second half as Notley skips, has a little dive at the line herself. We'll get another penalty, which is another thing that we made mention of as well. Queensland giving away penalties, defending their line quite regularly throughout that first half period, and they've done the same here in the second.
Yeah, full marks to the referees. They're really trying to get them to get out and not drop early, and it's it's refreshing.
Notley might have had the chance to come back on the inside, holds it and comes back outways to Emerson Hablin, who plays it, steps back midfield. Barnes now plays it. Oh, no, it looked like it just stuck in the hands. Oh, she held it. She has held it. That's a miracle there from Jessica Barnes. I thought it was done for all money.
Put her in the circus. How are the hands on that?
Notley now crabbing across field and almost creating the space. They're trying to get the 6 to go. Apparently claiming that it came off Queensland hands, but referees disagree. Yeah,
I think Jordan Dart would be disappointed with that set because, they had enough possession to probably ask a few more questions there, but, this rucking from the QSST team is really good. Good to see the Swans addressing that momentum there because they committed numbers, after the latch touch, which is, a start in terms of addressing the momentum.
Hagen comes off the right foot, comes off the left. Yeah. Well, has a little bit of a tumble as well. And back to her feet.
She's all right. Tough girl.
And the Swans, the whole 6 players out here on the left-hand side trying to get themselves to the interchange area and get those changes out onto the field. Couchy will play it. Searston now rolls forward over the halfway line. Solid contact. And they've actually been picked up for an interchange infringement. Sideline referee picking up that they had 7 players on the field. Got to get those ones right in a big match like this, Carls.
Absolutely you do, Scott, because they can absolutely kill you.
So do the Queensland team make them pay from that area? Good contact. straightens up the play of the ball. So happy to hold down the left-hand side of the field with Edwards. Come back midfield now with Sykes. Shreds a nice bird. Chadburn putting it through the hands. Space galore out here on the right-hand side, and they will make them pay. Montea Hadson has rolled over on the right-hand side of the field to get their 8th try on the board.
Yeah, what we saw there was the Swans players, like, they're sending one middle out, and so you see Ellis Easton hunting out here and had to have somebody come with her, and the link was high and the saving middle was sitting back. You give Queensland that eye shape, you're not going to be able to stop them. That is because they are just so fast and they're lethal, so you really need to make sure that the middles are hunting together.
So up by 4 now, the biggest margin of the match so far. And a loose pass out in front. Tough one to reel in there from Ackland.
And this is the toughest thing, Scott, for not just junior teams, but any team. After you sort of, feel like a game's starting to go away from you, you can fall off your game plan. So it's really important that the coaches, take control of those types of situations and try and get them back on track as fast as they can, because it's all about just trying to win your next moment if you possibly can.
Just having to roll over there, Tisha Edwards, to get into the acting half position. There's still changes coming onto the field for Queensland. On-field referees picked up an incorrect play of the ball.
Now this is where the Swans need to get over this ball and be really clean, get down the other end and get a completion no matter what. That happens, they get their confidence back and they build back into the game.
Nice ball on the outside edge, but just having to come back to the mark. Jessica Fitzgibbons very generously being told to go back just a little bit further. Very kind from the referee. Notley plays it. Fitzgibbons from half. Ashurst back out onto the park. Rolls over the halfway line. Flat ball from acting half. They hold up at the line. It will be a full 7-touch set here for the Queensland schools as Hagan just puts the foot down here on the first. Will get touched. It gets crunched. Coming in as well. Been in the walls a little bit over the last couple of minutes here, Ronnie Hagan.
Oh, goodness me. Just on that set before, there's a passive shape out the back for the Swans if they were good enough again, because they're playing so compressed. I'm wondering if... Because when you're in this position, Scott, 8-4 down, as a coach, you're always trying to think of, okay, should we change our tactics and try to, mix things up a little bit and sort of give us a chance, or you stick with what you've been doing? So it's always a real difficult one for coaches. Good to see she's okay, Scotty, out there as well, though. Ronnie's all good.
Yeah, you can see her just taking a bit of a breather over in the change area. Did make it back to her feet. Yeah, definitely solid contact too. Southwest Queensland Swans coming in. Putting some pressure on. Oh, that's taken a little bit of a deflection off one of the Swans players. And straight into the hands. They roll over. They're really starting to stretch away now.
Yeah, flexing their muscles a little bit now, the QSST team, going to the line nicely, and a lovely little sinker pass over the top, and well finished off by Kalia Bob. Great job, the pass from Kalia Bob over the top, and nice little finish there, and the QSST team, they are an absolute machine here, Scotty.
Yeah, starting to show why they're one of the heavyweights, making their way potentially to a grand final later on this afternoon. Wooters on the run, throws a looping ball out, opened up for him. Might have been able to go into the in-goal area for it.
Yeah, and it was a good setup. Searson and Zoe Wooters have been playing together for Redlands on a Friday night in the Div 1 team, and that's one of their little pet plays that they ran there, and they were looking just to connect, and the pass just went astray, but it was the right tactic, so hopefully they'll be encouraged by that, and perhaps we'll run that play again.
Score update in the second semi-final between New South Wales Combined High Schools and the Brisbane Cobras. They're currently locked up at 4 tries apiece. As we see Sykes rolling through.
Oh.
So a tight contest in the second semi-final to see who's potentially going to meet the Queensland secondary school team as it stands right now.
And we thought that would be the case, Scotty, didn't we? Yeah.
Was contact. Yeah, Brisbane Cobras finishing second in the pool. They were in the same pool as the Queensland secondary school side. And the only loss that they had so far in the tournament was against Queensland.
It was, yep.
So they're taking it to CHS in the second semi-final. We'll keep an eye on that score. That's a beautiful ball. And Shuka finishes it off in the left. They're flexing their muscles now.
They sure are, Scotty. They're so well drilled. I love the process in that by the QSST team. They move them around. Got them with this out ball, so managed to go there, 2 steps, hold them up, out ball on the outside of the middle, and got the defence a long way in. They were very compressed coming in. They should have been on their out, so as soon as this happened, realised there's the shift, should have gone, and just a little bit late. And that's okay. This is stuff where, hopefully people look back on the video and they learn stuff, and this is what this tournament is all about, young players getting the opportunity to play at this level and, really working, learning from the game and becoming better.
Penalty here to Southwest Queensland.
Let's see what Demi Ashurst can do here. She's definitely been one of their best players in this event, and someone they always sort of look to. Jessica Barnes, I think she does a power of work for the Swans all the time, and I'd love to see her get across the scoreline too, if you could.
Yeah, it just gets pulled though. Jessica Barnes for the incorrect play. The ball just wasn't facing square towards her try line. Sees the ball return to the Queensland team coming out of their end of the field. Pretty good job in the first couple of touches here, the Swans.
Yeah, they're working really hard for each other, and they're not giving up at all. And you like to see this, even though we're getting towards the back end, just under 10 to play now, Scott. You have to keep trying to work and do the best that you can. And Jordan Dart's still down there in the Swans sub box, giving out instructions and willing the girls on, and you love to see that.
Still playing positively here, and they'll play right to the final whistle. No question about that. They take the meters towards their sub-box side. Notley for flat looping pass. Straighten up the point of attack now with Hamblin in the midfield. They will get a penalty. Players offside here for Queensland. Full set of 6 to attack the line. Assistant is away from the first defender. Receives the ball back. Notley sweeping around the back, but they'll just hold up the play. Izzy Reid is acting half at the moment now. Offloads to Searston. Just a bit slow and lethargic.
Yeah.
Searston plays it now. Notley gets solid contact. Searston's down on the ground, taking an attacking player out from the Swans.
Yeah, he's playing advantage. Yep, very, very good refereeing. He's playing the advantage for Searston being knocked off the ball. And now let's see if the Swans can actually use this ball for this entire set.
Notley sweeps, early release. Ooh, they were shaping to rip that one out to the left-hand side. Fitzgibbons.
Yep, they probably just needed a little bit. It was the right play to try and run the quarterback. They just needed to start it a little bit further out to avoid the strike from the link.
Notley having a little dive at the line. Receives the ball back. Links back up with Izzy Reid, who offloads to Ashurst. Ashurst takes on the short side, comes back against the grain, coming in the midfield, straight into Queensland defence.
Yeah, they look a little bit tired now, don't they, Scotty? The Swans attack, they were sort of, not a lot of punch in that, but it's been a very long tournament and they've been working hard. So, yeah, they need to keep going here and they need to keep working for each other, because this Queensland team, they are full of running.
Over the halfway line. As Chadburn plays it. It's like trying to skip away. It's defence in the midfield there from the Swans. Hamblin making the touch. Doing it tough on the first couple as the changes come onto the field. Just having to have a little bit of a look around there. Poor Jess Fitzgibbon looking for some support.
You've been on the treadmill before, Scotty, haven't you?
Absolutely.
It hurts.
Feels like you're going backwards. No. Nice little pick up from half here. Waters off the left foot looking for support. Comes back in, tries to slice in between 2 defenders. Turn the ball back over. 7 minutes to go here in this semi-final. The Queensland secondary school teams 1 foot in the door for a grand final spot later on this afternoon. Coming up next, we will have our first grand final of the day. We'll let this play unfold as Edwards rolls forward. Good job on the back end of this set. Last touch here for Queensland. Looping ball over the top. That was a good job to hold on to that and then throw it in one motion.
Yeah,
definitely. Matthews, but couldn't find the target.
Yeah, they're still trying to complete, everything that they can. The QSST team, they're being professional to the end and as clinical as they can be, and that's impressive coming into, what will, be a grand final appearance for them. So, coach in the QSST coaching box, they'd be pretty happy with the girls' intensity, even though this is coming into, the back end of the half.
Looping ball over the top and off the fingertips. Yeah, as mentioned, 16 boys grand final will be the next match that we'll be bringing you through in the broadcast on KO Sports. It'll be the Southwest Queensland Swans taking on the Brisbane Cobras. And looking forward to our first grand final of the day, as there's plenty of space down the left-hand side of the field. Nice little pop-out play again. Holding on to the football there, Hudson. We'll play it. As Queensland. The changes come onto the field. Sophie Smith slides across field. Hagan from half. Good to see her back out on the field after taking a little bit of a heavy knock earlier on in the second half. She'll position herself to go from half. Her dishes, wraps around, gets good phase play. Swans on the back foot here and diving over the line. Here's the number 10, Chloe Nicola, for the Queensland Secondary School teams. That is good footy there, good phase, ripped it out, plenty of space on the left edge.
Yeah, fantastic piece of play, and Nicola does the rest. A little rooster early release into phase. Quick ball, and there was nothing that the Swans defender could do about that.
11-4 now on the Painaway scoreboard. Under 5 minutes left to go. Play on is the call as Notley plays it. Skipping across field, Hamlin. Nice little pop-out play. Heading towards the corner, and has there been a touch made? They're going to point to the spot. Great work from the Southwest Queensland Swans. Talia Ackland there showing a good little turn of foot as well.
Yeah, nice little pop-out play from the Swannies, and they're still firing salvos, and really nice of them to get a touchdown with 4.5 minutes left on the clock.
Score update in the second semi-final in the 18 girls. The Brisbane Cobras have taken the lead. They now lead 7-6 over the New South Wales Combined High Schools team. 4 minutes to go in these matches. 11-5 here in this match now between the Queensland Secondary School team and the Southwest Queensland Swans. Again, the Cobras will be a little bit of an upset, although, like we said, they've had a really good competition themselves. But CHS going into that game undefeated, as we see Kate Ellum roll over for another try here to Queensland.
Yeah, and it's been the story of the game, hasn't it, Scotty, that, just when you think, the Swans would hit back, QSST just that class above, and they come again, and it's one of these things that, as a winger, probably sliding away a little bit too soon because they keep scoring in that same area. It'd be one of those things, if they could just get their winger to step up a little bit and she could make a read and she could maybe come in and sort of knock that off. And it's just all learning for players at this point. And hopefully the Swannies can finish off here with a touchdown.
Sort of work early on the left-hand side, putting the ball through the hands. Fitzgibbon having a little dash down the left-hand side of the field. Swans from the restart. Ashurst picks up and comes against the grain. They might be looking for a little bit of phase play themselves this time. Beautiful looping ball on the outside. Yeah, yes, nice great touchdown. Try. And Demi Ashurst controlling things during that set for the Swans. Yeah, that was a lovely try. It
was. It was a fantastic piece of play. She just waits for her opportunity, gets the strike dump. Lovely little link hole there. And the Swannies, they've been wholehearted during this event, Scott. They've earned their their position in this semi-final, and they've worked really hard.
Oh, Rani just slices in between.
Somebody stop her. She is incredible.
Beautiful running style as well. Just absolutely silky smooth.
Yeah, she reminds me of Catherine Sargent in the way that she strides and gets herself, into top gear, and she makes it look so easy. And she's definitely a player of the future and someone, who is just so exciting to watch. And the sport's blessed by young talent like that.
See another player down on the deck, Sophie Smith. She gets back to her feet as the Swans put the ball through the hands. Go pretty expensive early off the restart.
Yeah, why not, mate? There's not too long left in their tournament, and really good to see them, continuing to have a go right up until the final whistle.
And they're in a really good position at the moment, the Southwest Queensland Swans. They've got a lot of really good young up-and-coming talent. We're about to see the 16 boys team in the grand final.
Yes.
18 girls making a semi-final here today. The 18 boys in the quarters last night. We'll just see Sisson just taking the time to get back to her feet. They've got a lot of good mentors, the Notleys, Troy Morgan. You know, Jordan Dart's done a great job with this crew out here, these young ladies. And Queensland will get one final try potentially in this match, but the Swans should hold their head up high. The results that they've had at the National Youth Championships this year have been superb.
Yeah, and, you know, framework by the efforts of their men's open team at the NTL this year, you know, just missing out, you know, on making a grand final, losing in a drop-off to the Brisbane City Cobras. So, you know, they are... quarter-final, but they would have kicked on, and they have got so much ability, and I love the way that all of their, you know, superstar players have all gotten back around it, and they're mentoring, they're coaching, as you say, and, you know, they've got a very bright future.
Yeah, Lockie Pearce is here as well, I think, with some young troops, so it's great to see. Score update now, 7 tries apiece in the second semi-final. CHS have hit back, and they've locked up the scores with Brisbane Cobras. There's 15 seconds left to go on this one. And just as I say that, New South Wales have scored again. 10 seconds left to go, so they're now in front 8 tries to 7 over the Brisbane Cobras. So CHS are about to head into the grand final against the Queensland Secondary Schools team. But it was a pretty clinical performance, particularly in the second half here from the Queensland Schools side, just running away from Southwest. But geez, they had a great effort, particularly in the first half.
Yeah, definitely. The Swannies went with them in the first half, but QSST showed their class in the second stanza, Scotty, and yeah, it's going to take a heck of an effort to be able to stop this juggernaut that is the QSST 18 girls team. But yeah, full credit to all the players, and yeah, should be a crackerjack final anyway.
Yeah, the score has been confirmed in the second semi-final. The New South Wales Combined High Schools team have won it at the death. Final score